Hi guys, I'm Sandra from Untitled channel and today we will show you the Creality Ender 3 Pro. I will unbox and assemble it while Rui explains all the steps. I already assembled the standard Ender 3 and this one will be very similar. So, let's start!
Hi guys! Don't forget to check the video description for additional information and links where you can get this printer. Inside the box, you will find the assembly instructions and a few bags. In them, you can find several tools to help with the assembly. A wire cutter, several screws which are all labeled, plastic parts, and a belt. We can also find a memory card and a memory card reader, a needle to unclog the nozzle, the X-axis idler, the Z-axis end stop, spare fitting and nozzle, and 60 grams of PLA filament. Next, we can find a spatula, the power cable, the right side Z carriage, and the power supply. This one is a 24 volt 14.6 amp meanwhile power supply. Next, there are a couple of 20 by 40 metal profiles. The graphic display, the horizontal profiles, the lead screw, the left Z carriage, and this includes the X motor, X end stop, and extruder motor, the Z motor, a piece of the spool holder, and under the printer you find another piece of the spool holder. And finally the printer. Now that we have all the parts out, let's start the build. And let's start by identifying the correct vertical beams. They have unique holes, so they are easy to check. Each is secured by a couple of long screws underneath. These must be well tightened. Next, we can install the display. The flat cable is connected to the EXP3 connector. The power supply is installed at the right back side. At the left side, we installed the Z and stop. Also at the left side is the Z stepper motor. For this next step, we will not follow the assembly instructions, and I will explain why in a second. Start by sliding in the left and right Z carriages. Adjust the wheel grip by turning the eccentric nut on each carriage. Now, get the horizontal profile and place it against the carriages. This will tell you if you have the vertical profiles installed correctly by checking if this horizontal one lays flat on both carriages, and as you can see, it does not. So, untighten both vertical profile screws and adjust them. As you can see, they have a lot of play available to adjust correctly. Next, get hot end assembly and slide on the horizontal profile. Adjust the wheel grip by adjusting the eccentric nut. Next, secure both Z carriages to the horizontal profile. Once finished, slide the assembly in and tighten the frame bottom screws now. Get the top profile and install it at the top. Don't tighten the screws just yet. Measure the distance of the vertical profiles at the top and at the bottom. If you need, adjust them and then tighten the top profile. Install the X idler. You don't need to tighten it just yet. Get the belt and secure one end under the X carriage. Pass it around the idler, then under the wheels, and around the X motor gear. Finally, secure the other end under the carriage. Now, adjust the tension of the belt by pulling the idler and tighten it. Install the lead screw. Make sure it goes in the coupling and secure it with the set screw. Don't forget to check the lead screw alignment. It must be parallel with the vertical beam. To fix the side alignment, you need to correct the position of the Z motor. To do that, You can use shims between the Z motor and the vertical beam. Also check the alignment from the back side. To fix the back alignment, you need to correct the position of the Z motor by moving it sideways. Next, check the Y-axis belt tension. Stretch the Y-axis belt by pulling the Y-axis idler. Tighten all 4 screws. Check the wheel grip of the bed carriage. Adjust both eccentric nuts. The small square plastic parts are installed on the sides of the top profile. Get the spool holder parts and install them at the top left side of the printer. Install the pneumatic fitting to the extruder and insert the PTFE tube. Also check if the other end of the tube is correctly inserted into the hot end. And now connect the power cable. Check if this yellow connector has any play. Some users noticed problems with this connector. A bad connection makes the wires get hot and the connectors burned. If you notice this, stop the printer immediately and solder the wires directly. There are other concerns with the electric connections that we recommend you to check. Start by opening the enclosure. Unscrew the top screw first. For this Pro version, the access to the board is under the printer, so carefully lift the printer and unscrew the bottom screws. Inside, we can see the Creality board. It's equipped with an 8-bit microcontroller and 4 non-replaceable Allegro A4988 drivers. All the wires that are connected to the green screw type connectors don't have any ferrules, and some of them are not even tightened. And not only they don't have any ferrules, but they are also thin, which is not a good idea. So we strongly recommend you all to check this before your first power on. The best thing you can do is to add ferrules to all the wires that connect with these green connectors, or at least to the high current ones, such as the nozzle heater wires, the bed heater wires, and the main power wires. Connect the Z-axis stepper motor. Connect the extruder stepper motor. The X-axis stepper motor. Connect the X and stop switch. And the Z and stop switch. Connect the display cable to the EXP3 connector. And don't forget to check if the power supply input voltage selector is correct for your country. And finally, connect the main power cord. Now we are ready to turn on the printer for the first time and execute the home sequence. Before the first print, we need to level the bed. So, get a 0.1 mm thick piece of paper and level the bed. Rotate the knobs under the bed and adjust so that you can feel the nozzle touching the paper. Adjust all 4 corners and repeat as many times you need until all 4 are at level. The print bed is equipped with a magnetic print surface. This can be easily removed to take the print out without any effort, and it will be ready for a new print in seconds. Place your spool on the spool holder and insert the filament in the extruder. For our first print, and as usual, we like to print the G-code included in the SD card. The model is the already known small dog. Since it's in G-code format, it means it's already sliced, and in it we see some things to be improved on. We noticed an intense burn smell coming from the hot end that made us open all the windows. The same thing happened with the standard version, but I think it was not as strong as with this Pro version. The smell eventually stopped after a couple of 5-hour prints. Next, and because we are close to Christmas, we printed this Christmas tree in vase mode and using a filament with glitter. The print surface does a great job with PLA filament, and prints done in vase mode are easy to remove without any damage. We can still see some salmon skin patterns on the prints, which are from the Allegro drivers. Overall, it looks great, and the base from the first layer looks very nice. The stock layer cooling works very good, as we can see with the tip of the tree. We ran a few more prints and they all looked very good. This one was printed with no supports. In our next video, we will do a side-by-side comparison of the standard Ender 3 and this Ender 3 Pro, so don't miss it. And that's it, you guys. As always, you can follow us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you like our work and wish to help, you can with Patreon and PayPal.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye.